Hello and welcome to another update video about Polygon MATIC. MATIC continues to be in this corrective pattern of a wave 2. At least that's currently how it looks to me. So we're going to talk about this. First of all, let's zoom out, take a look at the entire structure. From the September lows, we identify a 5-wave move to the upside into the December highs. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5 complete. And we expected from here a pullback somewhere from this region into this support zone, this target zone for this correction, which happened. What I will do now to keep it a little bit more clear on this chart, I will take out this initial micro count, just hide it. But we have an ABC structure to the downside into the 8th of January lows, which in the primary scenario completes an A wave of a larger wave 2 correction. And then the B wave rally possibly topped here at the 61.8 retracement level, the golden ratio, 94 cents. That was sort of an ideal target for this B wave. And the move down so far would suggest that this wave C is now unfolding. Yeah, wave C is basically the last wave in this correction and could send the price to around about 66 cents, maybe even 58. How do we determine that? Well, we can take the length of the A wave, then we go to the top of the B wave to compare. And typically such a C wave should end below the low of the A wave. So that means minimally I'd like to see it get to 73 cents. But then we also have the golden ratio there at 66, that's a key level, and 65, it's the 100% extension level there. That's one of the key levels really for a C wave. I mean, the others here, the yellow levels, are really standard support levels for a wave 2, whereas the 100% extension level at 65 cents is really a projection, taken by where we take the length of the A wave and then we project it out to the length of the C wave to get a target for wave C. It's a little bit more reliable than the others, but it's essentially we have to take them all into consideration. The entire yellow area is relevant to find, to look for lows. So that's sort of, I think, clarifies the idea that, the wave 2 is still unfolding. Also, because this rally was only a 3-wave move. It's not a 5-wave move. Not yet, at least. It could turn into one. It needs one more high. So the idea is that, at the moment, I assume wave B has topped. But it's not really following through to the downside in an impulsive way. So when we look at microstructures, it's very dynamic and we constantly have to assess the structures if they still align with the roadmap. And I can tell you here, well, I can only see 3 waves down. So what does that mean? That means that either at the moment, well, at least at the moment, we have to keep the door open for an extension higher. Either in wave B, how would that work? Very simple. An ABC structure can always turn into a larger B. So the ABC is an A wave. Then this is a B wave pullback. And then the wave C here forms a larger B. And then we come down. That's one scenario. Would pretty much align with Bitcoin's B wave. Okay, so I would not rule that out. I find that quite likely, actually. And that's, that isn't ideal. This would be a 1, 2, 3, a very deep wave 4, and one more high in 5. Depending on the length of this move, okay? Depending on the length, when we might get 5 waves up then in a leading diagonal, and then in the alternative, obviously, wave 2 already completed. Okay, so it's very simple. In the primary scenario, wave 2 hasn't completed yet. In the alternative, wave 2 already completed. And the microstructures should tell us soon which of these is really playing out. At the moment, the idea that there should be a rejection in the resistance zone, well, that has come true. So from that point of view, everything's good. I will myself buy back a little lower. Took some profits in this region. I will buy back a little lower once we get back into the yellow support zone. Now, that could be more direct or after an extended B wave, then to come down. If I see, however, that we're forming 5 waves up and it's quite clear, and I may then make the primary scenario the low is already in, well, we should still get a corrective pullback then, and I will then add a setup for it as well. So in all cases, there should at some point be another pullback anyway. At the moment, I think it's just waiting for the market to tell us which direction it wants to take on this time frame. Okay, so is the wave 2 already in? We should know that if we make another high and it's, yeah, and I would say it doesn't exceed the $1 mark. If it exceeds the $1 mark, then it's likely an extension of the B wave, because then we have a very clear A, B, C, where A and C have a similar length. So it's very much like an ABC look, okay? But yeah, that's sort of what I'm watching. I mean, to keep it simple, we had the yellow support area. This was the area to look for positions, for opportunities. It worked out, generated a nice profitable trade. Same like this one. And here, you know, these trading areas, you can use them to add positions, to find positions, to find lows, basically. Essentially, I can only give you the levels where the price should see a reaction in the current scenario. How you then trade this is, of course, up to you. Some people choose to just scale into the support areas, maybe scale up the trade once there is a higher low. Others just set a stop below the last low and go in more aggressively. See, that's really, essentially up to you. But yeah, I think the wisest way to trade altcoins with Elliott waves is to look for pullback zones and then look for an entry point in these zones. Either one, with a stop below, or you're just scaling in, and adopt the more relaxed way of trading. But overall, yeah, the price hasn't yet broken out of the range to the upside. So obviously a sustained break above $1.09 should send it to $2 at least. The targets to the upside here, $2.12 is the minimum I would expect in the third wave. Then $2.39 is an even more likely target. $2.94 also possible in the third wave. So it should really send us higher nicely over the coming weeks or months. And bear in mind that the microstructure might shift a little bit because we are currently in a correction, but the levels so far have been holding well for a long time now. Yeah, even here, the long-term support area. Okay, that's my update about MATIC. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. You can also find the links in the description for Insta and Twitter, and there's additional content every single day. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.